What's going on, everybody? This your boy PiscesOmega, man, and welcome to my channel, My Life in the Stars. Um, I chose this little settings, kind of like incognito, a little intimate setting, because we're gonna have a little spiritual talk. You know what I mean? You know, and I really want to get right into it. You know what I'm saying? The world is changing, bro. The world is changing. Things are changing fast. We're changing as people. We're changing as a society. We're changing as beings. You know, there's been a lot of things that just have not been told to us, have not been revealed to us. A lot of us, just running on a script. You know, but it's funny. We all see little things that remind us of, or make us say like, that's strange, or like deja vu, or things like that. You know, I remember as a kid, I used to love science. I used to love astronomy. I used to love astronomy. I actually wanted to be an astronomist. I think I had astronomy like in the third or fourth grade. You know what I'm saying? But it was funny, like in school, I was so interested in that line about the planets, and Saturn was always to me one of the most beautifulest planets because of the rings. I remember Venus. You know, you, but then they took that away. They took that away from us. You know what I'm saying? They took that knowledge away from us, man. And then we going on our life and our everyday, to and fro, and not even understanding the real workings, the inner workings of the world, the universe. You know what I'm saying? And then they keep giving us this, they keep feeding us this script, this diet, you know. But it's okay. You go along until you can't go along anymore. And then in my case, I'm living in a tough city. You know, we got tough families, dynamics and circumstances. I've overcome all types of obstacles and overcome so many odds. And then I have literally put my best foot forward. You feel me? Because this is the thing. I have literally put my best foot forward. Before all this, you know what I'm saying? To change the narrative, to change my path. You know what I mean? You know, to try to right my wrongs, so to speak. I really worked hard to change the narrative, and I mean, like, it's like I was getting nowhere, bro. I was getting nowhere, man. I was like, come on, who luck can be that bad, who luck can be that bad, bro? And then I just had this realization that we're being helped. We're being helped to be bad, you know. Because when you realize, when you come to the realization that, listen, man, I've changed my ways, and when you search your heart, like, I've really changed. And when people around you be telling you like, bro, you've really changed, then you be like, wow, well, why isn't my circumstances changing? Why isn't this changing? Why isn't that changing? You know what I mean? Or sometimes, why is things getting worse? I'm putting my best foot forward, and things is getting worse. Like, come on now. I remember one time, a few times actually, because I've left the streets, went back to the streets, left the streets, went back to the streets. It was like all the streets to me was always like a crutch. It was always like a crutch, something I could always go back to. You know what I'm saying? Because it felt right. You know what I mean? Like that Robin Hood mentality. When society is against you, and everything is against you, and you fighting against a man. You know what I'm saying? When you feel you justified to get out there in the streets and do what you need to do, you know what I mean, to take care of your family, yourself, your children, you know what I'm saying? They box you in a corner, they, you know what I mean? They put your back against the wall. You know what I'm saying? This is the script that they playing, you know what I'm saying? And what do they get for doing that? They get your frustration. They get your violent outbursts. They get your depression. You know, they get your stress. They get your heartache. They get all your pain. And then they package it. They harvest it. They harvest that negative raw energy, our negative raw energy. You know what I'm saying? And then they use it to fuel their machines, to fuel it. You know, and then that's the thing. You know, they've told us what they're doing. So it ain't like I'm breaking news. Like, bro, they've told us. And it's the thing, they operating, and this is the thing, they operating under universal law, spiritual law, universal law. You know, they, and people wonder, because how can they get away with all this? They operate under universal law. You're not operating under the law. You letting the law operate you, because you just willy-nilly going along with the flow. You don't even know. I mean, first of all, our people, you know, we think most of this stuff is like of the devil. Let's just get it straight. As soon as you start talking about this stuff, oh, this ain't of God, this is of the devil. Okay, come on now, okay. If it's of the devil, then you need to get with it. Because everybody is doing it. It's universal law, bro. They're telling the truth. You know, sometimes, you know what I mean, I get frustrated. You know, you start learning things and you want to see people on the right side of this, you know what I'm saying? And you hope that you have enough credibility with the people, you know what I'm saying? Enough cachet with the people, if you will, to, you know, speak and maybe sway minds, you know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. You try to want to, you know, give people the information so they can think and make the best decisions, make better decisions. Because you only can make better decisions when you have the best information. You have limited information, you can't make the best decisions. You know what I'm saying? Life is like, it's like dice, you know, it's six-sided. You know. And they got us so busy focusing on, you know, maybe one side of the equation, one side of the situation. But no more. It's even written in the scriptures. How long will this go on? How long? They was like 2,300 days. They only got 2,300 days. And then there's another part in the scripture when they was like, seal up those things that the seven thunders spoke. And then it was said, no more. The secrets is finished. The veil is pulled to the side. And you got so many people trying to close it up. But the veil is naturally open. It's time. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, they're not ready. You know, they actually thought they would be further along. I mean, they're pretty far. But they thought they would be further along. Because what's going on right now, their victory is not assured. It's written in the scriptures, our victory is assured, right? But we got to wake up to it. You got to step to the victory. You can't win if you're not on the field. And a lot of us asleep. We're not on the field. You know. And the only thing is, we just need to get more people on the field, on the team. You know, it's kind of like when I was coaching football, right? I used to coach youth football. And you had to have at least, I believe we had to have 17 players. We had to have at least 17 players or we were forfeit. You know what I'm saying? We used to have a lot of kids come out for the practice and everything, but you know what I'm saying? A lot of circumstances or whatever. When it came time to the game and the suit up, We were struggling to get 17 kids. And we used to have 30, 40, 50 kids at the tryouts and, all that. But you know what? To try to get 17 kids, it was hard. Just to play the game. You know what I'm saying? So we need more players on the field. We need more of y'all just to wake up and start being more objective. Stop just listening to the narrative. You know what I mean? Stop just listening. Stop just going by the script. You know what I'm saying? Write your own script. You're the writer of your own script. Start rewriting the script. And I challenge y'all, try these things and field test it. The universe is talking to you, almost screaming at us to wake up, take heed, notice the synchronizations, notice the weirdness. It's weird. It's getting weird for a reason, so you need to notice it. Stop putting it off like, no. Listen, man, this is your boy PiscesOmega, man. I love y'all. I love each and every one of y'all who will see this, even for the people who didn't see this. Because you know why? Y'all me. Y'all me, and I'm y'all. And I love me some me. And if I love me, then I got to love y'all. You know what I mean? And I know you love yourself. And I know you love me. So if you love yourself, start thinking for yourself. Start fighting for yourself. Start living for yourself. Don't live for the system. Live for yourself. Do what you like, according to the law. This your boy PiscesOmega, man. Listen, man, I love y'all. Stay tuned for more powerful ancestor readings, more spiritual readings, man. Like I said, get into the comments, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. You know what I'm saying? What would y'all like to see on this channel? Things of that nature. And then in the meantime, between time, listen, man. As I always tell y'all, peace, love, and I don't even want to end it yet. You know what I'm saying? Check my description boxes, bro. See how to get in contact with me. See how we can get a conversation going. We can get it going on Google Meet. We can get it going on FaceTime. We can get it going on live. You know what I'm saying? We can get it going on a phone tip. You know what I'm saying? Reach out to your boy. Let's get this community started. You know what I'm saying? Big PiscesOmega out. Love y'all. One.